Hello everybody, this is Justin Torres. Today's video is going to be a bit different from what I usually put out. I'm actually going to be walking through my process for accomplishing goals throughout the year. I'm going to be discussing how to accomplish multiple goals throughout the year, providing a way for people to efficiently spend their time accomplishing goals and not being discouraged if they can't meet the milestones that they want to. So I'm going to get started. So we have a few things written here on the page. We're going to start off over here with the step number 1. You're going to write down your goals and you're going to be specific. I have some sample goals over here. These are goals that I had when I was younger. One of them is to learn how to cook, to pick up Spanish, and to learn how to play the violin. And these goals are pretty vague. I had to revise these so that I had a better idea of what the beginning of the goal would be and what the end of the goal would be. You have to have a start and a destination in mind so that you know how is the most effective way to start, and also so that you know when you've accomplished your goal. You have to have an idea of what that looks like. So now that we have our specific goals written down, we're going to move on to the next step, which is to research the prerequisites and set milestones. So it is important that we know exactly what needs to be done to accomplish these goals. If you are not able to cook your own breakfast for one day, then it's going to be pretty hard to cook for 5 days straight. If you can't greet somebody in Spanish, then it's going to be very hard to assist somebody during a class. You have to set appropriate milestones and timelines for different goals to be achieved so that you can really end up accomplishing your end goal. When it comes to setting milestones, I want to create some kind of visual roadmap where I can check back at it throughout the year to make sure that I am sticking to my goals. I have goals written down. The main goals are written down here for the within a year area. I have the date a year from now, January 12th, 2022. You want to make sure that you have your deadlines written down because it's very important so that you can keep yourself accountable and you have an idea as to when certain goals need to be accomplished. So I have goals written down for within a year, goals written down for within 6 months, goals written down for within 3 months, goals written down for within 1 month, and then different activities that need to be done within a week. Starting down here, keeping the end goal in mind. If I want to be able to cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 5 days, I need to start off with being able to cook one meal within a week. So, and it varies for different goals, but you're pretty much breaking down the goal into its small individual parts and then accomplishing each part until you get to the end goal. First goal here is for learning to cook is to meal prep 3 dinners, focusing only on one meal within a week. Once you're able to do that within a week, before February 12th or before 1 month is up, you need to be able to meal prep 5 dinners. So the same one meal, but you're doing it for 5 dinners to kind of challenge yourself. Over time, you add on different meals such as lunch here. You add on more meals, and then by the end of the year, you should incorporate breakfast, and then by then you'll be able to cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 5 days. Same with learning the violin. Within a week, learn how to hold the violin, learn a couple songs out of a beginner violin book, and then you can start challenging yourself more throughout the month, setting reasonable milestones for different goals to make sure that you get to your goals in a timely manner. As for Spanish, within the first week, try to understand the sentence structure at least and pick up basic greetings. By 1 month, be able to order food at a restaurant completely in Spanish. And remember, this doesn't just say be able to understand everything that the waiter says or be able to hold a conversation with the waiter or the person at the door. It says that you just have to be able to order food at a restaurant completely in Spanish. That's the goal. So when setting goals, don't think that you have to accomplish multiple things at a time. Be specific and try to figure out what actually needs to be done so that you can meet the goals that you actually want. By 6 months, you want to be able to talk, or by 3 months, you want to be able to talk with a native speaker about your goals, because those are usually the most easy to talk about. You're more passionate about them, so you'll be able to learn faster about them. You'll be able to learn class vocabulary in Spanish. 6 months, talk to a native speaker about their goals, and then within a year, you should have met your Spanish goal, which is to make friends and to teach classes, and so forth. So it's just creating those milestones. Make sure you get those milestones made so that you can get to your goals within the time that you want to. Once you set the appropriate milestones and you know exactly what needs to be done in order to accomplish your goals, now you need to figure out how you're going to do it. For a lot of these goals, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. A lot of these are mainstream skills such as cooking, picking up a foreign language, and learning an instrument. You can find a lot of free resources on YouTube or on the internet. That's how I learned most of my skills. And there's a lot of benefits to learning skills on your own, which I will cover after we've gone through all of our steps. But there's also a lot of disadvantages to learning on your own, which I'll also cover later. So you want to make sure that you take your time to figure out what is already out there to accomplish those goals. If you want some specific examples to tie into these goals here, if I wanted to learn how to meal prep for 3 dinners, I would be looking up YouTube videos on exactly that, how to meal prep a recipe that I want to have for dinner. I would figure out what different spices do. I'd figure out what's the best place to store and refrigerate food. Start doing your research. If I want to learn how to hold the violin, learn how to play the violin, just pick up a violin book. Most of them have diagrams or have some kind of explanation on how to hold violins or play violins. You can also look at videos, of course. You can get feedback from people at music stores or places that sell violins. Understanding sentence structure, pick up a Spanish grammar or phrase book. Look up videos on YouTube. There's a lot of different ways that you can learn all of these skills. All right, so the next step is to follow the advice of professionals. So, like I said, for a lot of these skills, they are mainstream skills that a lot of people do. So there's a lot of professionals out there that can do all these skills or have expertise in all these skills that can help you. You can get advice from native speakers if you're learning a foreign language. You can talk to native speakers. You can follow native speakers on social media. Listen to podcasts, vloggers. Listen to native speakers if you're learning a foreign language. You can talk to different people that cook, chefs that bodybuilders that are meal prepping. People that are expertise in the area that you want to get better at. You need to be friends with them, talking to them. Don't badger them. If they don't want to talk about it, it's fine. There's plenty of other people to talk to. Just make sure that you are getting that feedback as much as possible so that you're not wasting your time doing things incorrectly and then having to fix them later. Alright, so now we're on the last step, which is to meet the milestones by practicing and reviewing skills daily and by challenging yourself. So all of these steps up here are 1 through 4 are the planning phase. You're planning, you are getting as much advice as possible, you are setting yourself up for success. Whereas number 5 is where we execute, where we get stuff done and we work on it daily. And that's the most important part. You have to work on these skills daily if you want to meet these goals within a year, 3 years, however long you want to do it. You have to practice these skills daily in order to nourish them and to make sure that you get to the point where you want to get. The milestones are supposed to motivate you. You want to be able to push yourself so that you can get to all of these individual goals within the time stamps that you have them. And of course, the quantity that you practice is very important, almost more important than the quality of your practice, because you're gonna have those days where you don't feel like your practice went as well as it could have. You don't feel like practicing, or you're just not gonna have a good practice day. But it's best to get back on these milestones and just keep working on what you need to work on every single day, because if you do it every single day, your chances of learning a skill fast will increase, and you'll be able to do things within the milestones that you have set. Alright, so now quickly I'm going to go through some pros and cons of learning skills on your own. Like I said before, there are a lot of resources out there, and a lot of these skills you can actually teach yourself. I've done it before for all of these skills. There's a lot of pros to learning things by yourself, but there's also a few cons. Starting with the pros, it's usually cheaper to learn things by yourself. You're not having to purchase programs or buy textbooks. It all depends on what you want to do. If you want to buy textbooks, that's up to you. But usually, if you're joining a class or if you are doing some kind of online program, then you're gonna have to buy that program, or you're gonna have to buy textbooks to use during the class. So it's usually cheaper because you decide what you're gonna use. You get to learn at your own pace. You don't have to log in at a certain time for classes, or you don't have to go to a certain room to learn. You don't have specific times that you have to learn. You can practice whenever you want. So you learn at your own pace. You understand your goals a lot better. the teachers that are teaching you may not have the best idea of what your specific goals are. They may just want to teach you the fundamentals and the things that they feel that you need to learn. Whereas you have specific goals, and if we want to accomplish those specific goals, we need to do the specific things that allow us to get to those specific goals. We can't just learn everything that's expecting to get to where we want to get. We got to be focused in our practice. You can also set your own schedule, as I mentioned before. You learn at your own pace, so you can set your own schedule, decide how long you're going to practice, and you can zero in on the goals you want to accomplish. So that's pretty much the same thing as understanding your goals better. You can really focus on what you want to learn. Cons of learning things by yourself: you get delayed feedback, so you're not going to be getting that immediate feedback that you would in a class or in a program. You won't be able to figure out until you start cooking for people, until you start, speaking to other people. You're not gonna know how well you are practicing and how well you are performing. So next, it's extra work to find resources. Classes, they got everything for you. They got the technology, they have books, but if you're on your own, you're gonna have to find those things by yourself. You're gonna have to go out to stores, you're gonna have to do your own research. So you just be ready to do all of that and know it's coming. And then you also have to be committed. So if you're doing a program, you pay for that membership and you're gonna get your money's worth. You don't have to be motivated to sign up for it or to do the class. But when you are on your own, you don't have any membership that you're paying. You just get up and you do the work yourself, which is good. There's plenty of pros for it, but also you have to have the internal drive to want to do it. You have to be intrinsically driven and just work on your goals. So you have to be able to get up, work on your goals every day in order to get to where you want to within the time that you want to. So I'm just gonna do a quick recap of everything that I talked about. Step 1, write down your goals, be specific, nothing vague like this. You need to everything needs to be quantifiable. You need time, you need criteria, everything needs to be specific. Research the prerequisites and set milestones. Set things by the year, by 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, and a week. Know what you're doing within a week, know what you're doing daily, know what needs to be done within a month, within 3 months, and so on. You need to have an idea of what needs to be done in order for you to get here, in order for you to get to the main goals, to get to where you want to be. See what resources are out there. Look online, find free resources online. YouTube, I'm pretty sure there is plenty of stuff you can use if it's a mainstream skill. Follow the advice of professionals. Literally follow professionals on social media. Talk to teachers, talk to native speakers, professionals in the field, expertise, people that have expertise, So follow their advice and then meet the milestones by practicing daily. And this last thing that I'm going to show here is actually something that I also use. It's a schedule, an hourly schedule that I have set up. I take it by the hour. I write down what I'm doing with each hour, from sleeping to waking up at 5 to meditating, and then I'm plugging in the individual daily activities that need to be done in order to meet my weekly, monthly, and yearly goals. After I do all my weightlifting, my exercising, I'm studying Korean while I'm eating breakfast. So I'm, plugging it into my daily routine. I'm reading. I have Watch a Deaf News to work on my ASL receptive skills and learn new signs for American Sign Language. I'm working on my typing in Russian. These are all those little activities that allow me to excel in the languages that I already speak and that I want to learn how to speak. So, and then all this time here is just for you to plug in. You can throw in your school stuff, your work stuff, your life stuff, your goals, whatever you want to put in here. This is pretty much a visual representation that you have time. You just got to know how to manage your time, stick to a schedule. It's all built in the routine. Make sure you follow your routine, set it up so that you're getting the practice in on your goals daily. And yeah, that's all that I have for this video. So if you guys want to see more videos like this, talking about accomplishing goals, time management, studying, whatever it is, I can put out a video on it, help you guys out. But yeah, that's it. And I'll see you guys later.